Hey, welcome to the Real Estate Results Podcast. I'm your host, Ben Humble, and I'm very excited today. We get to highlight some incredible people in our community. And so, before this show, we have a group of awesome Canadians that get together and we actively buy real estate deals. And it's been a privilege to do that on a series called 30 Days to the Deal. And we love watching people win because inherently we love winning. And so today I've got a really cool guest here with me, somebody that I've had the pleasure of working with and helping and watching him grow, which is amazing. So guys and gals, would you welcome to the stage on today's episode, my friend Honya is with us. Hi, good to see you, brother.
Thank you, and you as well.
You are a very interesting character, very, very interesting person, and I'm excited to have you on this show here today.
Well,
and
where is my hat? I have to take it off for you then.
There you go. Well, I usually pronounce people's entire names, but every time I say your last name, I butcher it. So I want you to give us the proper enunciation of your full name. Go for it.
Well, if that helps, you can call me Happy Future. So that's what it means.
It means happy future, but give us the actual name.
Oh, it's Shadba.
Shadba. Okay, there we go. Honya Shab. And before we jump in, where are you from originally, Honya?
I am originally Iranian. My parents are Iranian, and I grown up in Iran, but I was born in UK, so I'm kind of British by birth, and that's where I come from.
You have a very interesting story, and we talk a lot about real estate on the show and development and success, but you have a very interesting story and upbringing. So can you walk us back a bit to your beginning of life? What was life for you like at the beginning of life, and how did you eventually get to Canada?
Sure. Of course. Right now I'm 46, so every day for me has been a journey. I'm gonna try to make that very short. So the way I came to Canada, I still feel I'm an immigrant, even though I'm a Canadian citizen. But where my journey started was, because of the, let's call it very short version of the political conflicts or political disagreements I've had. And that, I guess, was the root of many things. So even though I love my country, I ended up to be an immigrant. So the first place I went was the country of my birth. I went back to UK. At age 20, I started living alone and I started going to university. And so I'm a Londoner also. So because they call, if you live in London more than 10 years, you become a Londoner. So I have achieved become a Londoner. So even though with my crazy Iranian accent, but it happens to be I'm a Londoner. I lived there for 10 years. And then I end up to be in Canada. I have no idea how, I guess destiny. But part of that destiny was that we did apply for becoming a Canadian citizen from Iran. But it took a long time. So by the time, I was excited, so excited about becoming Canadian. Even though I was born in UK, even though I always had a British citizen and a passport, I have to be honest, I never felt British. I never felt home in UK. And also I never felt completely home in Iran all my life because of political disagreements and stuff. So Canada was for me the first place I could feel home, and I did feel home for a while, for actually a beautiful long time. At the time I was so excited, full of energy, and I've become a very proud Canadian. But right now, I guess I am in a different course. The political disagreement has arisen here as well. The same story is kind of repeating itself here in Canada. Super disappointed about that. I'm gonna skip that part. So at this point in my life, Ben, so that's not where I'm coming from, but where I'm going also, I'm planning to come very close to you in US.
So Canada's been an incredible refuge for my family as well. We escaped communism in 1989, and we lived in a refugee camp for about 8 months or so, and then we were able to come to Canada. And Canada, for a lot of immigrants, is an incredible place. It's a reset. And so we love Canada for that. Very thankful to Canada for that, the opportunity to reset and to work and to contribute. And over the years, we've been able to hire people and pay taxes and do a lot of stuff in Canada to grow the economy and do our part, right? I think us immigrants really come to Canada with the idea that we want to make it, and we want to make it better. Like, we want to keep growing. And so this immigrant mindset, like for me, I'm on my third language, English. How about you, Honia? How many languages do you speak?
Well, English is my second language. I'm not advanced as you, man.
You're less advanced in the linguistics of. Okay, got it.
Well, as you can imagine, Farsi is a very complicated language.
Sure.
So I went so deep in Farsi. So I was kind of, at the young age, I really kind of educated myself in a very, ancient Persian language and poetry. So.
You know what's interesting? So coming to Canada, I don't know if I wanted to be a business owner when I was incredibly young. I wanted to be a musician. And so I went to the University of Windsor for music. And halfway through, they said to me, you know, you're going to struggle to be a music teacher because you're not a very good student. And so that struck a hard chord with me, because I started thinking about my high school music teacher. And this guy was always upset. You know, he's just always angry. And I'm like, why do I want that job? I don't want to be a high school music teacher and deal with a bunch of kids. And this guy's always upset. And so I felt, you know, at that time that a career or a job just wasn't in my future. It felt like I would have to settle and do something I didn't want to do. And I said, well, I don't really believe in the establishment. That's the problem. You know, it's hard to be an immigrant because we love Canada, we appreciate it, but at the same time, the moment it starts to look like the place you left, you start to see the patterns and you go, well, that's not really what I'm here for. And so, but I think the profound part of Canada is, wow, we get to build a business. Wow, we get to buy real estate. Wow, we get to build wealth in a really, really strong nation. And so for me, being an employee just wasn't a choice. It was be a business owner, buy real estate, create wealth, and create prosperity because it was possible. What about for you? I know you're an architect by trade. And so what is it for you that has you drawn towards real estate and creating wealth and has you questioning or walking away from being a very successful architect?
Right. Very great question and great statement. Thank you very much for sharing that, Ben. Well, I just want to first say an example. What you told me remind me of myself, and this is a story that kind of was an inspiration for me when I was young. The story goes that one guy was just walking in the street, and basically what happens is that, you know, somebody just some very strange way, he just dies and he goes up to the next life. And then he's just very confused what happened, and he goes around, they say everybody going different lines, and he really realized somebody looks like an official person. He says like, hey man, what's going on? Am I dead? What's going on in this planet? He said, yes, you're dead. And he said, that's my name. Where should I go? It's very confusing. He checked his name. He said, you have to go there. Your place is in the top of the hell, in the worst place. So what the hell? I didn't do nothing. Like, what the hell is going on, man? Are you sure? That will check and all of that. So end of the day, he said, what was my fault? What did I do? And the answer, after digging the file, he says that your problem, your crime is that you've been a human. I said, what the hell? Yes, you've been a human when you could be God. So you have to be punished because you could be God, but you kept being a human. So that was inspired me that, you know, it's up to us where we want to be in life, and we have a huge responsibility to kind of, you know, fulfill whatever God gave us. And there's a lot we can do with our life. So that was inspiration for me. And coming to Canada, like, I'm thinking that, where could Canada be and where it's going? So this like really something that hurts me personally at this time. But generally, yes. Sorry, I don't know where did I go with this, but the story told, yeah.
Okay, so let's look at it this way. All right. Should every professional, architect, doctor, lawyer, everything, should all of them buy real estate in your opinion? Or is real estate just for entrepreneurs?
Well, right, great question. Okay, so that would kind of the answer to this would make sense of my crazy story. So, a real estate is one activity that I found in my life could give me that opportunity to use the best that God gave us, to act like God, because God gave us what we have, but we have to act like it. So to do that, I found that real estate can give that potential. Part of that is financial, part of the mental growth, a lot of things, helping people. Everything can be combined in this business. And honest to a more frank answer to you, Ben, is that for me personally, coming from architectural background, I realized, 7-8 years of my life's gone like that. Super hardworking. I never had a year that I didn't grow. Even after 1 year or 2 years, I always went to a better firm, grow my application. But in life, I was not really achieving much at all in respect to my potentials. So I was always looking, and just like you, from that young age, I always wanted to get that biggest potential I could have, whatever that God has given me. I wanted to find that out, but in my case, I'm not going to talk about other jobs because I cannot, but for me, the architecture was so high demanding, and end of the day, working for other people. Everybody knows the story, and I have to also share the Rich Dad Poor Dad. I wish I had read that book a lot sooner in my life. That was part of, I have to admit, I had a lovely poor dad. And that's where I am, it's a little bit my past was that. So when I came to this opportunity, I believe again this was something God put in my past. So this opportunity, I jumped for it, and I still am jumping.
But it's worth the jump, and so isn't it? Right?
Yeah,
the way that I look at it is, for everybody who's employed, let's just say that you right now make $50,000 in your job, and you're a valuable employee. And so your company pays you month after month, and you make $50,000 a year or more money. And every year they give you a 3% bonus, a 5% bonus, and so they keep paying you. And so the reality is, I'm good at my job, and so I keep getting paid to do it. But as a business owner, my belief is you're getting paid to do it not because you're good at your job, but because you being good at your job creates profit for the owner of the company. If there wasn't profit, you wouldn't have a job for very long. And so when you start to think about your work in terms of units of value, you start to really reframe the quality and the value of your skill set. Like if you get paid $50,000 to do sales for somebody else, do you realize that your skill set in your own business is worth far greater in the marketplace than the workplace that it's in today? Your $50,000 skill set or your $50,000 salary is the least amount of money you could generate with your skill, not the most. But we are so conditioned to taking what somebody else is willing to give us, and we roll our skill into somebody else's economy. We have another company who has their own metrics, and our skill is just part of the overall workforce. And so I guess that's something to think about. If you can make $50,000 in a job or $100,000 in a job, the question is, have you ever shopped your skills around? When we launch a business, we open up the availability of opportunity and we allow our skills to go into the marketplace, don't we? Like with real estate investing, man, we get to make offers and buy properties and raise capital and do all these activities that could make $1 million a year with the same skill that you get paid $50,000 a year. And so I think a lot of employees, they have a very misunderstood viewpoint of what they're actually worth, what your skill is really worth. And so I think for a lot of us, when we finally step into real estate, we think we're starting all over again, but you're not. You're bringing all your skills. You're bringing all your experiences. You're bringing all. So when your job doesn't give you a pay raise, give yourself a pay raise by launching your own business. And I think, Honya, that's what it is for most high performers and high achievers. It's the A-type personality said, I can just do this on my own. I can make my own money. I can make my own schedule. And so what empowers you to step out of a successful career and into the real estate space? What is your way of thinking about that? Or what's your, I guess we'll call it, what's your rationale for leaving a successful career to jump into real estate?
Okay. Ben, I just really enjoyed the phrase and how you put stuff together. And I have to kind of thank Coach Z to bring it as a little comments and advisors. Some wise comments about, remembering people of the first steps or first time they did something without, thinking about it and doing it. How powerful was that? So that feeling for me is very strong, Ben. And continue with everything we discussed. It's just the same way that you say, if you are making an offer, doesn't feel uncomfortable, it's not a good offer, So if I don't feel there would be a risk and there is a danger, I don't think there would be a reward after that, And it was like that. And, it has to be calculated risk. I myself, I believe, I am almost 10 years behind myself. But
why do you say that? Why do you say 10 years? What does that mean?
Because, I have had goals and plans that, it has been lost or forgotten or kind of, missed or dismantled on purpose. Whatever. So these are the stuff that I think I'm behind on myself. I haven't achieved them. But at the same time, I believe I am kind of, putting numbers is not probably a correct way to put it, but I'm a lot also advanced a lot at the same time. When it came to real estate, man, for me, the freedom, it's just like, again, I don't want to make this outside statement for everyone, because I know that it's not probably for everyone, but I'm sure it's for most of the people, because it takes a lot of stuff that you are teaching. You need to know a bit about a lot. So.
What's your dream for the future as you do this real estate thing? What are you hoping for? You said you are feeling like you've lost 10 years. So what are you going to do in the next 10 years?
So Ben, I would refer to this proverb that say, a long and lengthy life would be a big challenge, but I want to solve the mystery of my life. I am determined to solve the mystery of my life, and some of my missions are still in their head. I'm not behind them. I still want to achieve them. A very big mission. And part of those things that I want to solve about my mystery of my life, that it was always in me, that it was I don't know what it is, a gift or not, I'm not sure, but I enjoy giving. I enjoy helping people. I have not been able to do that much. So I want to get to the stage that I can actually do that. And this was in me from very early ages. Like, if you have seen, especially elderly people or other people in pain or probably inside me would like it really hurts, and I wanted to help people. And I would have gone very extraordinary or unprofessional approaches during all my life, doing crazy things, you know. But um, so I'm really excited about this new journey. I have done my jump, but still I'm in the jump. I and as I am going through this jump, I can feel my confidence is absolutely growing. But at the same time, very interesting though, very interesting. At the same time, just some forces are just challenging me. At the same time, like the more I try to rise, the more they try to challenge, and the more I try to, the more they challenge. So, and this thing is just like I need a clever change of situation right now for me. I need to change the rules, which I'm doing, and yeah, I have very high plans and high hopes for the future for this year coming 2026. With your help, then I'm taking my steps step by step, but I'm absolutely very high standards of achievements or high hopes. I have a lot of high hope of my self growth and self improvement, financial freedom, and to create a fundamental, life is short, just like that now, I don't know, 6 months, a year is gone. Just like that, the 10 years, 20 is gonna go. We're gonna see each other, hopefully by then, a bit of white hairs. So these are the stuff in my head that I need to move past. I need to do this stuff, and this is the time for me, even though I'm 10 years behind, I need to catch up with that 10 years in the 1 year, and I can do it.
Well, growth and personal development really go hand in hand with business and professional development. That's my belief. And so when I see somebody growing in their personal attributes, I believe that those things will spill over into their professional career. And so if somebody wants to do real estate, I think it's imperative that they start to focus on their personal development, which is the way they think, it's the way they behave, it's their patterns and habits that they develop over time. And in a way, what I've noticed about even long-term business is that you eventually start to broaden your perspective and such, where there's things that are no longer as severe as they were. There's things that change, like the way we evaluate risk seems to change as we get more advanced and more experienced with real estate. And your non-negotiables, I think, start to firm up more. And so if you want to grow, for me, it's very important to have a really clear big picture. If you don't have a big enough target and the reward isn't high enough, well, then all we see is risk. And I think for a lot of people, they're trying to buy one property or do a small outcome. And so the risk is so relevant to them. But if you add a much bigger outcome to your perspective and you say, I'm going to buy 50 properties, well, the risk doesn't grow in relation to the goal. Eventually, it just becomes a very asymmetric reward to a very small risk. But you have to play a big enough game. You have to be willing to play at a bigger level than just the entry-level version of real estate investing. And so what's some of the growth that you've experienced personally in the last few months that you can point to other people who are coming in with, they've got stuff that they're dealing with in their personal life and they're coming to real estate and they're trying to do it. But what are some of the growth things that you've encountered that you can share that may benefit somebody else who's about to go through a similar journey?
A lot, man. A lot. If I tell you every second was a growth in one thing or another, I haven't lied. But one thing on top of everything, I would say would have been significant for me is a sense of leadership and understanding that, to become a good leader, and even though your team is just one person, you still need to be a leader. Yeah. And how to manage everything that this real estate business needs to do. These are fun, and okay. I have to go one step back. The amazing thing is that how you put them together, because end of the day they're all available online and stuff, or other resources. I don't know. I was lucky to when I decided in my head, in my galaxy, that I need a change, suddenly God put it in front of me. It was like a pop-up something. I was in the bathroom, and it just came up and say, "You cannot be a stupid in the real estate 2025." I was like, "What the hell? Who was that?" Like that's what I was exactly thinking, and so that's my story. I don't know, but for me, I like the reason I say that I'm not a person that I experienced too many other coaching and too many other resources. And suddenly after 8 years of architectural knowledge stuff, and suddenly I changed course with you. And after just short time, I just moved all in. Um, but my personal opinion was that the way you put it, and I'm sure I'm just, I don't want to be, I hate to be the people that, talk about the stuff that they don't know. That's why you see a lot of times I just say, try to be humble and try to just say whatever I know 100%. And that's what I'm saying. Like the way you put them for me was amazing in order to me to understand and make use of these things. And the second thing was, as I said, like being a leadership, like I enjoy to see like so much. I was so kind of happy and energetic to see collab, making a call today and such improvement, like, every call to next minute, your comment. So I guess, these are the skills of a leadership, and every, this is a significant. If you just become a good leadership in anything you do, I think you win. So that would be just. Well, I can talk a lot about that, so I'm just gonna.
Well put. I think personal leadership is such an important thing, and leadership as a topic is very important for people that want to win in life. When we commit to leadership, we commit to excellence. Because leadership is hard, and it requires a change in our perspective, in our mindset, in our mood. Leadership, I think, starts as an inside job and it ends as an outward expression. The way you treat people, the way you talk, the way you communicate. And so, Honya, we're proud of you for what you're doing. We're proud of you for your growth. Thank you for being our amazing real estate Bible community.
I need to put my hat again, so make sure I can take it out on that.
Maybe we should change your name to Humble Honya, but that's going to be hard to say. And so Honya the Humble sounds probably better. And so we acknowledge you. We appreciate you. We respect you. What is the best way somebody can connect with you after the show?
Cheers. Well, my brand is Safe Space. If somebody wants to take out, my website would be safebc.ca, but I guess my name would be a shorter cut to get to me, because it almost might be unique, Honya Shadbakh. So if you Google me, probably you find me somewhere. I'm not so everywhere, but again, Ben is helping me to build all of that as well. But for now, safespacebc.ca, or you just Google my name. More than happy to talk to anyone.
Amazing. Thank you for being with us. Folks, that's the Real Estate Results podcast, and we're excited to continue the journey with many students. And if you're Canadian or you're an immigrant Canadian and you want to grow in your real estate, create more wealth, and live a life of true freedom, well, then I would encourage you, come join us. We have incredible people here. We have incredible training. We have the best supportive community group in Canada by far. And we love you. We want to see you succeed. We want to see you win. I don't think being a coach is hard. I think it requires a level of care, attention, and commitment. And so you can be a coach who focuses on excellence. And to be a coach who focuses on excellence is a coach who focuses on his people. And so if you focus on your people and you focus on their outcomes and their challenges and their opportunities, well, then I think you can become a pretty good coach. And so I'm trying to be the best coach I can be by trying to care as much as I can for every person. And I'm trying to create a new level, which is called results-driven real estate. And I don't think that happens in a lot of coaching communities. And so we've made a staple and a claim that we care about results. And so we want our students to win. We want them to get results. We want them to have an incredible experience with us and to keep winning. So thank you, Honya, for being with us. Until next time, everybody.
Awesome job.
Until next time, God bless you. Take care. Stay humble. Stay hungry.
Cheers.
Bye for now.
God bless you. Cheers.